to the Toffee Blues, your source for all things Everton. I am Connor Williams, and I'm back with another one of our 24/7 news report videos. As always, we start with our headline news, and we've actually got two headlines for you today. That's right, two headlines. So what are they? We'll start off with the first one, which is coming in, and that is that Everton are apparently looking to sign none other than Yannick Vestergaard from Leicester. Obviously, was at Southampton last season, joined Leicester this summer. The summer just been. It's according to the Football Insider, who reporting that Vestergaard is firmly on the radar of Everton's new director of football, Kevin Thelwell. The report goes on to claim that the Dane was watched by senior scouts while playing for his country in the 3-0 win over Serbia. My thoughts on this, I don't know. Southampton he left Southampton. He was good at Southampton. Southampton, I think, have replaced him very well with Salisu. He's a really good centre-back. I think that's very clever of them. I don't know if Leicester would be willing to let him go only after a season. And even then, if they are, it's sort of, I don't know, call me a cynic. That raises some questions for me. Why would you have a player come in the summer and then look to get him off after one season? Normally when that happens, a player hasn't lived up to the expectation. He's a good player. He's strong. He's tall. He's very aerially dominating. Hopefully that would sort out our set piece issues. It's a bit slow. Frank Lampard likes to play a high line. And he's a bit of a slower centre-back. But, I mean, if Frank Lampard's willing to accommodate his tactics and his style, Vestergaard could be an all right move. I mainly see this being the fact that he could be an aerial threat, an aerial protector. Maybe Yerry Mina, they're ready for if Yerry Mina gets sold in the summer, because as much as I like Yerry Mina, and I think a lot of fans do, his body is his worst enemy, and it's such a shame to see. But yeah, we'll have to keep an eye on that one. The next news we have is that Newcastle are set for a transfer meeting this week, and Everton star Dominic Calvert-Lewin is on their agenda. According to Craig Hope, the club could be forced to wait till November for their new sporting director, Ian Ashworth, to arrive from Brighton from the South with the South Coast club, not willing to let him leave, which obviously potentially affects Newcastle's summer and their spending. Obviously, Calvert-Lewin is struggling coming back from injury this season, so he's not been firing on all cylinders. I think, he's just been quite unlucky. But when Craig Hope was writing, the Daily Mail journalist was writing on his own personal Twitter account, he shared the latest from St James's Park this week. He said, also detailed of the Newcastle recruitment meetings as a summer are planned to be discussed this week. Goalkeeper, centre-back, centre-mid, winger and centre-forward are all on the list. Among the outfield names mentioned to us, there's Gvardiol from Leipzig, Kelly, Bizuma, Calvin Phillips, Johnson, Moussa Diaby, Dominic Calvert-Lewin, Darwin Núñez, Patrick Schick, and Alexander Isaac. So obviously Calvert-Lewin isn't the only striker on that list. There's Núñez, there's Schick, and there's Isaac. So maybe they go for one of those two if we put our foot down. Thing is, Newcastle have got a lot of money, and I think they're going to do what City did in the first period of them having a lot of money, and what we've done since we've got the money, and they're going to spend it with little to much regard, because they've got plenty of it. So I guess it depends on the price they stick on Calvert-Lewin's head. It's something like 60 odd million. I like Calvert-Lewin, but that's a lot of money for him. That's a tempting offer. I personally, from what I've read, I think he might want Arsenal. And I think Arsenal want him. I think if Arsenal and Newcastle came in, obviously Newcastle probably offer him more money if push came to shove. But I think he'd rather go to Arsenal, who look like they might get the top 4 this season, so they'll have Champions League football. Obviously, in an ideal world, I hope he doesn't leave. But it depends on the price. I think 60 million, bearing in mind Calvert-Lewin's been missing most this season with injury and struggling to get up to form, would be amazing, because like I said, he's been injured. If they offered that last summer, I'd be like, yeah, you know what, he's had a really good season, but off a season where he's injured, that just seems like a lot of money to be sort of stumping up. But it's Newcastle, and ultimately it's going to be quite hard for Everton to turn down. We also have the news that Everton have sent scouts to watch Rory Wilson in action against for Scotland's under-17s against Germany. This has come from the Daily Record, who are reporting the Blues are one of a number of clubs eyeing the youngster. Liverpool, Manchester United, Manchester City, Brighton have also been credited with an interest. Speaking on the youngster, Scotland boss Brian McLaughlin has said that he's actually very promising. He put Rory's another player who can play in the next campaign. We've been brave enough to go and really young at this age group. So Rory's leading the line as a player born in 2006 against big, powerful 2005s. He's a clever player. He has good touch. His attitude's superb, and his finishing for a young boy to be able to finish the way he does. He's so clinical and calm in front of goal. Obviously, that's quite promising. Whether we'll be able to get it done is another story. There's a lot of big clubs sniffing about there. A lot of clubs that he might be willing to want to play for a little bit more. They've got Champions League football. We'll have to wait and see, but he certainly looks like one for the future. And if Everton are going to do this and buy younger players for the future, I'm all for that. I think that's one way to avoid the mess we've got ourselves in this season. We also are set for a shirt sponsor boost. Everton are hopeful of improving their current shirt sponsorship deal next season. The current deal with online car dealerships Cazoo comes to an end at the end of the current season, with Everton deciding to invoke a break clause in the 10 million per year deal just halfway through the 2-year agreement. A decision was taken before the turn of the year. The Echo understands that Everton have already lined up a potential replacement for Cazoo, with the club expecting to be able to generate a higher price for the deal than the one currently in place. The club have confirmed that the improved offers from firms have already been received for the commercial opportunity. This is a lot of businessy stuff. It's good though if Everton can get a better deal on their shirt sponsor. I'm all for it. We've seemed to go through shirt sponsors quite a bit, don't we, at the minute? We had Sports Pisa, then we have Cazoo. I actually quite like Cazoo. I think the logo wasn't a massive ruiner of sometimes sponsorship logos can ruin shirts. Didn't think it was an awful logo. They obviously did their every goal Everton scored, they would donate money sort of thing last year. Really good as well. And obviously we had the Cazoo derbies. But yeah, if we can get a better deal, I just hope we pick the right type of sponsor, because as we're sort of realizing now, I think there's more people are looking more in football at where the money's coming from now. So hopefully we get a good sponsor that can offer a little bit more, that is a little bit cleaner. And yeah, and hopefully just bring some revenue into the club. The accounts were posted the other day. We need some money. We also have the news that Richarlison is being eyed by Arsenal. This is from Dean Jones from Give Me Sport, claiming that the Brazilian is being nudged in the direction of the Gunners and that the deal has potential to be completed in the transfer window. He said, I know that Richarlison is one player pushed in their direction at the minute, and I know this one has probably got legs. I mean, say what you will about that. He said he's one of the players and it's probably got legs. One of the players, they're after Calvert-Lewin. I couldn't imagine them wanting both, and I don't see Everton selling both. So Arsenal at the minute, it seems to be linked with everyone as well. I saw Arsenal fans claiming they're going to get Haaland the other day. You know, the mind boggles a little bit. I don't personally, I hope he doesn't go. I think Richarlison would hurt me more than Calvert-Lewin going, in all honesty, just because he seems like such a great guy and he's a fantastic footballer. And I think he is a little bit more versatile than Calvert-Lewin. I don't think he's out and out on his own single number 9 like Calvert-Lewin, but I think he's got bits of his game that Calvert-Lewin lacks. So yeah, we'll have to wait and see on that one. At Arsenal, I can't see them getting both of our forwards, in all honesty. And when someone says it's probably got legs, that's probably is a big word in there. We also have the news: Everton are in the way of Juventus's new signing due to the Moise Kean stalemate. Yeah, speaking of strikers of Everton, I completely forget Moise Kean is still technically an Everton player while out on loan. Juventus are looking for a way out of their loan obligation to buy Moise Kean, with their new signing on their radar, according to Calcio Mercato. The Italian club have a mandatory future fee of 23.7 million in the loan deal for the 22-year-old, but performances haven't been up to expected standard from him. His time at Turin's destined to end, but first, Everton and Juventus must come to an agreement over the amount that they want. Paris Saint-Germain could offer a way for both clubs, though, as Pochettino's been interested in signing him. Obviously, Juventus want Giacomo Rapsidori from Sassuolo, and this is a big problem. As far as I mean, Everton are standing firm and said it's an obligation to buy. You must pay it. Maybe if PSG come in and offer a bigger one, Everton might change their opinion and go, yeah, you don't have to pay it, off you go. But currently, I mean, an obligation to buy is an obligation to buy. I think Juventus are being a bit naughty, trying to look for a way out of it. They should have never put that in if they didn't want the gamble and the risk. And I'd be very surprised if they find a way out there. You know, I'd hope Everton have it airtight. In terms of Moise Kean, I don't think he's got a future at Everton either. Just didn't work out for him, did it? And it's not worked out since. It's a shame, but he needs to find his form very quickly, because you know life's coming at him pretty hard. In 22, he's got such potential, or he had such potential. He just needs to get back on track. But I don't think Everton are the team for that. I don't think he's the type of player we need right now. From what we saw when he played for us, and from what I've seen since, yeah, I think that chapter's closed. Time to move on. Let's just get him to the highest bidder. Finally, we have that Everton star's injury return progressing in the best way. Return to training in the next few days expected. When you normally hear Everton and injuries, it's never good. But this one seems a little bit more positive, as Yerry Mina could be on his way back. He's only managed 10 games this season for us. He's barely featured on the Lampard. Obviously, he's had problems all season. Rafa Benitez played him instead of Dean in a game that, you know, when he was rushed back, that got him injured again. He's a very good player. Yerry Mina, I really like him, but his body is his worst enemy. But journalist Pipe Sierra is reporting that his recovery is progressing in the best possible way. Not only that, but the 27-year-old will return to individual training on the field in the next few days. This is massive. I don't see the club rushing him back, though. As much as we could probably do with him in the defence, I don't think the club want to rush him back for him to be injured again. It begs the question what to do with him in the summer. I know we've done it a couple of times on the channel and asked, and people, you know, some people are saying get rid, understandably, because his body. Some people are saying keep him because he's our best centre back. It's one of them. Hopefully he can recover a little bit though from this, and I pray and hope in optimism that we manage to find a way to keep him fit, because if he can stay fit, there's no way I'd ever want him to leave. But currently, if he can't stay fit, it's just a struggle for the team, and we really do miss him when he's not there. That is everything I've got time for today. Don't forget to like the video, subscribe to the channel, comment down below on any of the thoughts and the things I've discussed today. Do you think Arsenal really have the capacity to get Richarlison and Calvert-Lewin? Do you think Calvert-Lewin would really choose Newcastle? What do you think about Vestergaard? Do you like him? Do you think he'll fit in there? Let me know if you saw Wilson as well play, Rory Wilson. Let me know if you've seen him play, what he's like. Obviously, the manager's report was good, but he's hardly going to come out and say the lad's rubbish as if he's his manager. So, yeah, let me know all that good stuff. And most importantly, guys, stay safe.